Good morning, and welcome to your weekly message from First Congregational Church, Milford, New Hampshire. I'm your pastor, Al Hoyt. Today is Thursday, October 31st, Halloween. If you are one of those who worships from home, you're welcome to come in and pick up your communion elements from 9:30 to 1:30 today. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, we'll be in the parking lot setting up for trunk or treat. I hope to see many of you there. As always, I will be setting up a trunk. Verna will be staying home with the dogs to try to keep them from going insane. From 6 to 8 p.m. is trunk or treat during Milford's trick or treat hours. Friday, November 1st, tomorrow, from 9:30 to 1:30. If you are one of those who worships from home, again, you're welcome to come and pick up your communion elements. But it's also All Saints' Day, which we will be celebrating on Sunday. Saturday, November 2nd, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., the youth group will be at Market Basket in Milford for the Share Food Drive. They'll have lists with them at the door of Share, so if you're not sure what to get, they'll have a list for you. You can stop and see what it is Share needs, and then you can purchase it and bring it right out and give it to the kids. If you can't, for some reason, be at Market Basket on Saturday, please don't hesitate to bring your donations to Share to the church on Sunday, and we will make sure that they all get delivered to Share on Monday morning. Sunday, November 3rd, daylight savings time begins. So before you go to bed on Saturday, make sure you move your clock back an hour. Again, spring forward, fall back. It's fall, so you want to set your clock back. It is All Saints' Day, Remembrance Day. Will be a special collection for the American Red Cross, specifically for disaster relief. And we have been assured by the Red Cross that all money donated for disaster relief will go directly to helping the victims of the two hurricanes that have devastated the South. 9 a.m., of course, is Bible study in the parish house. At 10 a.m. is the church service in person and being live streamed. Following the church service, coffee hour is hosted by the Board of Trustees. At noon will be the registration for the Greater Nashua Crop Walk. I don't have any information for that, so I'm sure that if you go online for the to look at the crop walk, there'll be information on where to assemble and where the registration is. And at 1 o'clock, the Greater Nashua Crop Walk will begin. Monday, November 1st, the Governance Committee will be meeting at 6:30 in the Parish House. Tuesday, November 5th, is Election Day. From 6:30 to 9 on Tuesday evening, the Sauhegan Valley Chorus will be rehearsing in the sanctuary. Please make a point of getting out and voting on Tuesday. As I have said many times, I will never tell you who to vote for or what to vote for, but I will always insist that it's up to all of us to get out and vote. On Wednesday, November 6th, the Garden Friends will be on the grounds, weather permitting, from 9 to 11. The Diaconate will be meeting in my office at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, November 6th. Zoom link will go out that morning. And this is important for those of us who are in the choir. Wednesday, November 6th at 7:30 will be choir rehearsal, because Thursday is Veterans Day. There will be no choir rehearsal on Veterans Day, so their choir is going to rehearse on Wednesday, November 6th. Thursday, of course, is November 11th, is Veterans Day. The church office will be closed. Friday, November will be closed. Sunday, November 10th, is our worship service, and we will be mentioning our veterans during our worship service. So all of that's going on. I assume on Monday the 11th the town will be having their annual Veterans Day parade, but I haven't heard anything on that. So the coffee hour sign-ups for November through December and the all-church Thanksgiving dinner sign-up are available in the parish house. Please volunteer to help out. As I mentioned, the deacons have designated a special collection on Sunday, November 3rd, to benefit the American Red Cross to help hurricane victims. Sign-ups for Hollyberry Fair are in the parish house for the following: the fresh cut cheese order. If you want some of that great Cabot cheese, sign up for it. And helpers for the week of setting up the fair, for the day of the fair, and for cleanup following the fair. On Sundays leading up to the fair, Betsy Sullivan and Sue Darlene will have the cookie departments sign up at the parish house. This last week they had the bins set out and they had recipes laid out, and so folks were able to pick up the bins to put the cookies in and get the recipes to go. You can also talk to Carol if you have any questions about the recipes themselves. So yesterday, in the daily devotional from the United Church of Christ, which you can get for free, by the way, online, a new author named Yael Lachman wrote an article that just tickled me. It reminded me of some things of my youth that I thought were just very precious, and I hope that you do as well. But Yael writes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 24, verses 30 and 31. When Jesus was at the table with them, he took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened and they recognized him. And Yael writes, I have a soft spot for candy corn. Not because it's my favorite candy, but because it was my grandpa's. Every year, while those bright orange bags appeared in the stores, I see him so clearly filling the candy jar he always kept on the kitchen counter, offering a conspiratorial grin as he poured me a handful of those sweet, waxy triangles. When candy corn season arrives, my grieving heart rejoices, because I know that my grandpa will be especially near for weeks to come. Maybe there are times of the year when the veil between this world and the next grows thin. Maybe there are even thin places, like that dusty road on the way to Emmaus, where it's easier for us to feel the presence of the ones we miss so much. And just maybe, as he broke bread that day with his grief-shattered friends, Jesus was teaching us something else as well, that the foods we share with one another in this lifetime hold the power to reunite us anywhere and anytime. Maybe it's a tray of cookies fresh out of the oven that always takes you right back to her kitchen. Maybe it's a cup of hot tea with honey that lets you hear the sound of her voice again, just when you need it most. Maybe it's a pack of Lifesavers, the kind that he used to buy at the corner store for you, that lets you see his face clear as day. Or maybe it will be the simple loaf of bread, broken and shared, that lets you taste again the sweetest promise of all. I am with you always. And Yael offers this prayer. For the ones who have fed us so well and who teach us to trust in the promise of abiding love, thanks be to God. That brought back so many memories for me. My grandfather had a tremendous sweet tooth. And even though he wasn't supposed to have a whole lot of candy, he always had a jar in the kitchen. And in his later years, when he took up painting as a recreation, he always had a candy jar next to his easel while he was painting. But the things that I remember the most about my grandfather's sweet tooth is when we would go out on my uncle's boat fishing, he would always, we would bring our lunches and all the other stuff, and he would always buy one of those huge Hershey bars. You know the ones I'm talking about, the great big ones. And every once in a while, one of us would spill the beans to my grandmother when we got back. We says, oh yeah, we were just chomping into the candy bar when the fish started biting. And my grandmother would good-naturedly chew out my grandfather for spoiling the grandchildren and buying them things that they weren't supposed to have. It does bring back a very sweet memory. I hope that brought back some memories for you too. Please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So I hope to see many of you at Trunk or Treat tonight. I hope to see grandchildren and children and lots of kids coming from just any old place. If you've got kids in your neighborhood, invite them to come down to Trunk or Treat. It's always fun, and it's always interesting. So until I see you again, take good care of yourself. Take good care of each other. Give thanks to God, and God bless you.